Oh, sorry about that, guys. Welcome into the Dan Levely Show. I don't know if you guys heard any of that. So, without further ado, AB Dvinci, everyone.
What's the deal? What's the deal?
What's up? I
No,
was
they didn't hear any of that. I was watching like live on my phone as well, like as a
okay.
viewer to see if everything was coming through. So no, that was the first thing they heard was what you just said right now.
Awesome. So we have some dead air for the first 30 seconds. That's great. Way to kick off a podcast, Dan. Yeah. But anyways, thank you for AB for coming on. Everyone who doesn't know, this is AB Dvinci's from the TMP camp, Take Money Productions. And for what I haven't said, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone. Boy.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. My name is AB Dvinci, coming out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Currently in Austin, Texas, representing the TMP camp, Take Money Productions. You know what I mean? Shout out to the whole team. Some very familiar guests you have on here before, like Drew PM, Jerry on Blaze, you know, the usual suspects, and the rest of the camp for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Droopy's like a regular here. I might as well put him on payroll.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, podcasting, that's his thing. He does a lot of podcasts, his own podcast, Jerry on's podcast. You can always catch him on a podcast. He has a real knack for it.
Yeah. He's always a pleasure to have on. He gives me a heart attack sometimes, but he's always a pleasure.
Yeah, why is that? Just like the timing, he's on that rapper time?
Yeah, he's on that. I'm always 10, 15 minutes late time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good though. But it is, yeah. But
he'll be there. He's reliable. He's reliable.
Yeah. When he says he does something, he's gonna do it. He might be a little bit late, but he'll be there.
He'll work.
That's right. But anyways, yeah. What got you? Like, let's just kick off this real quick. What really got you into music?
Music has always been part of my life since I was a kid. All kinds of genres of music: country, blues, rockabilly, pop. You know, my mom was always on the latest pop records from Prince, Michael Jackson. My dad was really into blues and rockabilly, and then hip hop. I kind of fell into hip hop through all the elements. You know, I started off kind of like a b-boy, break dancer, or at least had aspirations to be, you know, a pretty decent pop and locker. That was my introduction to like the culture, and then I would dabble, you know, with the spray cans with my homie, like on some really trying to create some art type stuff, and I was decent at that. And then I fell in love with like DJing, and I got my first Newmark belt drive turntable kit, and I would DJ house parties, high school parties, round the way parties, and host like freestyle sessions after school at my house. You know what I mean? Like my homies would come through, like, we got the turntable set up, we got the mic, let's go freestyle on some instrumentals. They'd come over, and I'd be like the DJ, but I would start thinking, man, I think I could spit something, because I would always be nice with the pen on the poetry side, but I just kept that side of me tucked away. And then I guess one day I started freestyling along with them, and then liked the response, and then just kind of developed that element of hip hop. And then I decided I wanted, you know, MCing is where I wanted to make my contribution, you know. So right out of high school, I started dropping tapes. So yeah.
You selling tapes around the trunk?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
car?
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, I had a Chevy Silverado, little old school like Chevy Silverado, and that was the ride, man. Me and my homies would ride around, and everywhere, the mall, Walmart parking lot, high school parking lots, college, community college parking lots, and we would really sell them. You know, we'd make a nice little like a day's wage if we was really focused. And it was me and the original crew, the Prestigious Records crew, and me and my. Like, it was a group of 5 of us, and we were all like brothers. I was the only one that really wasn't blood related out the 5 of us. And but I might as well have been, you feel me? And we really had like a little thing going, the 5 of us. And we sold a lot of mixtapes, man, a lot of local shows, and a lot of Bob money, Waterburg. Where we at? Where you coming out of, you know, Bob, Waterburger Bob's?
What? No, we're from Michigan. We don't have that up here.
Oh, coming out of Michigan. All right.
Yeah.
See, I got to get familiar. So, okay, cool, man. I'm what's up? Shout out to Michigan. Yeah, down here we got Waterburger and Bob breakfast on the buns. They start selling them after 11 p.m. Yeah, those are like crack down here. Like they keep people in line after 11 p.m. So mixtapes kept us in a lot of Bob money back then. That's what we used to call it, Bob money.
Bob money. Yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff up here. Like people like ask us, you never ate like Chick-fil-A? Like, you've never eaten at Chick-fil-A? Or what's a really big one? In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
Never even seen an In-N-Out Burger because we don't have them around here.
You've never seen a Chick-fil-A either?
I think I've seen a Chick-fil-A down in Flint. I think we have one down in Flint, but not like around the area around here. No.
Yeah. No, we eat a lot of Chick-fil-A. In-N-Out Burger, not so much.
Yeah. Or Checkers. Yeah. We have Rallies. Checkers and Rallies are the same thing.
Okay.
And I think Hardee's is up there too. They're the same thing. But yeah, you mentioned something about rockabilly. But what is rockabilly for people who don't know?
Rockabilly is like a mixture of rock and roll and hillbilly music. You know, the early Sun records of like Elvis would be the most notable contribution to rockabilly, like not RCA Elvis, but like Sun record Elvis, like Good Rockin' the Night, Mystery Train Elvis. Okay. And then some would even say like Roy Orbison might even fall under that. I'm going like commercial because I don't want to name like super niche artists, but like to the casual listener, those would be good examples of rockabilly. And then it kind of evolved into like, in like the punk scene, there was like a punk version of rockabilly. It was like modern age rockabilly. And you could catch those at underground punk shows, like some pretty hardcore rockabilly bands. You know, they still had the greaser hair, the rolled up Levi's, and like the Doc Marten boots, and they had like that element of old school, like more electrical, of course, in today's day and age, but they had like that.
Right.
Yeah, the rockabilly roots.
Yeah. Now, do you prefer the way music is going nowadays, like the way that like this, it's more of like a softer sound, than it was like back in the 90s where like Young Buck and Snoop and NWA and all them were like really popular. Like, do you like this? Do you like it how it is? I think I don't want to say softer side of it, but it's kind of going a little mellow.
Yeah, I like it. You know, I find what I like out of it. I don't like everything. I don't think I've lived through enough generations or eras of music to know that to honestly say I didn't like everything of any genre or like of any era. You know, I don't think there was any era where it was all good. Like there was always good and not so great music out of every era. And today's no different. So yeah, there's a lot of artists and sounds and songs that make it on my playlist, on my day-to-day playlist that are from this era. I'm definitely tapped in with the youngsters. I like that too. I kind of like that, like this era in general, not just music, but the kids in high school. They're kind of more vulnerable. They're more emotional. I don't know why. I don't know if that's due to just social media or but they're more open with their feelings. You know what I mean? It's like the 13 Reasons Why era and shit. Like there's like a lot going on with these kids emotionally in high so early on. They deal with like a lot of heavy stuff, you know, and the music reflects that. They're, you know, maybe there's like 17-year-old, 18-year-old artists have like really tragic songs, you know, that are dealing with addiction and depression and suicide and things like that. And it just speaks to the times. Like, so yeah, I like it and I appreciate it because it's honest and I see that it's a reflection of what these kids are. You know, back then it was just a different era. We were like our daddies were running around in the 80s, you know what I mean, selling coke and crack. So we were like products and children of like those guys like that we looked up to. So it was kind of like part two of that. We grew up in a hustler era, if you will. And we didn't have social media, you know, when we were kids, that is, you know, when we were like really young. So everything was just different. It wasn't really about like expressing emotions. It was really just about, I don't know. It was just a different era. I mean, it was about expressing emotions, but not the way these kids do in their music, you know, back to the music. Like they really let it out. They crying on these records, you know what I mean? And it's pretty cool. Like it's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, there's a few artists out there now that they'll bring a couple tears to your eye. Like, and they won't even purposely do it. Like if you just find a song and it reflects to you. Like let's say, for example, Eminem was a big part of my growing up because a lot of his music reflected what I was going through in my life because I grew up without I grew up with my grandparents. I didn't have a mom and my dad weren't there, and I kind of reflected through him what all the stuff that he went through, and it was just kind of like the same type of situation with my mother and all that stuff. And that every time I listen to Eminem, I just reflect on childhood. And do you have like an artist that it really just puts just like grabs a hold of you?
Yeah, no, I feel that too. You know, and Eminem was like in my playlist with mix CDs back then. There was always an
Mhm.
Eminem song in my mix back in the day. Like when they switched to MP3s, you name it. Like because yeah, same. You know, his underdog story, his like outcast story. I really related a lot to a lot of those Eminem records of like
Right.
the anti cool kid. You know, the kind of like weirdo of the bunch, and then just kind of grow up in a dysfunctional home. Not that my home was
Hmm.
like anywhere near dysfunctional as his. I don't believe. I seriously doubt. But a lot of those emotions I related to as well. Yeah, Eminem was one of those. I'd say like if we're talking in that adolescence era, you
Hmm.
know, when you're really going through it. Um, Truth be told, like the one that grabbed a hold of me a lot. There was nothing like that 50 Cent wave. To tell you the truth. That's true. A lot
50.
of artists inspired me lyrically, you know, like Nas, the Jay-Z's, the Biggies,
Hmm.
of course, Pacs. A lot of that stuff was older than what we were at the time. So they were talking things that we knew what they were talking about. Some of it, but a lot
Right.
of it was a bit mature of content, and we just liked the flow and the beat and the cadence. But then 50, it kind of like was parallel to where me and my peers, I mean, we not assuming your age, my man. You know what I mean? You don't look a day
Right.
over 21. But my peers back in the day, we was entering that college phase
Right.
and high school phase where we was really experiencing life out there. And 50 was like the soundtrack to a lot of that. Like I remember, and then even in other elements of our life, just like the gym, 50 was always in the gym with us. 50 was always
Hmm.
on the block with us. 50 was in the studio on the way to the studio, like you said, you brought up Young Buck, you know what I mean? And he brought out that crew, that whole wave, that whole
Yep.
GUnit era that really connected with a lot of us, me and my peers. And I don't think nothing really hit hard since, other than maybe the Drake wave, that was like the next phenom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That the G Unit era and the aftermath. That was something. Like you always you knew as soon as like you can hear people bumping it in their trunk, and as soon as they're going down the street. Back when systems were like really really cool. I don't
Yeah.
know if they are down there still, but
Oh
like
yeah.
having car systems around here, people just get pissed off at you. It's not really there anymore.
Yeah, it's Texas, so we got a big car culture. So therefore,
Yeah.
the systems are always going to be selling and making money. Screen systems,
Yeah.
lights. Yeah, we got a big car culture, and
Yeah.
and yeah, back then, like spring, because where I'm from, Corpus by the Bay, the beach, spring break, the beach, bananas down there. And I remember just like you couldn't go pass by a single car without them playing some kind of aftermath production, like some kind of track
Mhm.
off 50 or like the Chronic 2001 or
Yep.
the Marshall Matters EP, like
Yep.
everyone. Yeah, that's
Yeah. They
right.
teased us with that Dre Detox album for years.
Oh
Like
man.
that's a good 10 years. That's a good 10-year tease on that album. Never came out.
It never came out. I think it is though. I think it's gonna come out. I really think it is, but I think it's gonna be like I mean, it's kind of overhyped. Now I mean, it better be
Right.
freaking miraculous,
Right.
which
The
it
thing better
probably
spit
is,
gold.
but yeah, it's not gonna be the lifelong wait
Right.
that we had to endure for it. We're gonna be like, man, I mean, it's cool, but damn, man, it's 20 years. The 20 years,
Right.
like 12
Yeah.
songs. So I thought it'd be like
Just think like a year and a half for each song. Like, come on,
yeah,
man.
I know you do like a verse every 5 years. Like,
Right. Yep. Yeah, but the most successful rapper I've ever seen with only 2 albums. But he's produced so many more, and he's just I don't know, Dre's great. He's definitely on my Mount Rushmore of hip hop legends.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's always like that. If someone says not three, not four, and if they like that question, if you had one producer to produce an album for you, like one, it's Dre. It'd be Dre.
It's Dre. Yeah.
'Cause I feel
You
like he
wouldn't
could do anything really.
right, yeah. He's a genius.
Yeah. And then a lot of people
Definitely a
say, but
genius.
that's not him working the keys back there. That's Scott Storch. You know what I mean? That's Scott Storch on 95% of that. And Dre was just there overseeing. I'm like, hey, I'm the rapper. I'm not gonna be there. Just get it done. You know what I mean? Whatever he did, like pull the people in, use your resources, use your money to pull Scott Storch in. Like Dre can get it done. Like, yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be Dre. It can
Yeah,
be Scott, and I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that. If Dre
Right.
produced that and had the foresight to pull Scott in, that's fine. Like that's what I'm saying. Dre's that guy to go to for whatever. Like he's gonna make it happen.
Right, exactly. Now let's pull back into AB a little bit. Now, your music videos are pretty much top notch. I want to say that, like every single music video that I watched on YouTube is like, there's no grimy about it at all. It's
Thank you.
all like pure and smooth, and it's just enjoyable to watch. Now, how would you go about shooting a music video for all those people with all those grimy and phone cameras?
Like how would I shoot a music video if all I had to work with was with the phone camera?
Oh, or just like, do you script it? Do you like go about scripting it, or is it just like pretty much freelance?
Yeah, well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. The what we do first and foremost is pick a good director. On the cool. Like I shout out to all the directors we've worked with that contributed to my catalog of top-notch videos, as you say. You know, the past two we've used Izzy Salinas, Skyview Visuals, aka Lil S. He's an artist out of Corpus Christi, but he found like his calling, if you will, video directing. And he did the So Far and the Just for the Weekend video. And I saw enough of his work to just know. I keep it simple, man. I say just make us look cool. Make us look cool as possible. You know what I mean? Use some cool slow motion. Make sure the lens is nice and crispy. Crispy is the word we like to use. Like make it look crispy,
Right?
And make it look cool. If it's a stupid shot, take it out of there. Like, you know, that's pretty much my rule. And everything else, there's maybe been a couple of videos I did with my late homie Merc Rock that had a script to it or like a plot or some kind of point. Everything else has been kind of run and gun and just like our real life. Like, and we just pick a day that we're gonna have the camera there, you know, whether it's just on the way to the studio, on the way to just we just riding around handling something, or we're doing a show like on Just for the Weekend and we shoot the video at the show. Because we're so busy outside of music that as much as we want to, we really don't have a lot of time to like, all right, we're gonna meet here and do a casting call and then find a person. And I have some concepts written out, and one day they'll be executed. But the past, like almost all my catalog's been running gun from skating on them. We just had a car club show up. I asked for a couple of cars to pull up for something to have in the backdrop. Had a car show basically pull up for me in a parking lot, and it turned out to be a real epic video. The No Regrets video was just me and my fam and the crew really hanging out at a park and barbecuing, which is something, you know, all my homies know I barbecue my ass off. Like, bars, like I do a lot of barbecuing. So that was just a day with the fam, and we just got the cameras out there. And that one was done by Steve Gonzalez. Shout out to Next Level Entertainment, their record label production company. He did that one. I had a little deal with him, if you will, and that was under that regime. And that's one of my dopest video to date. He had the red camera. I don't know if you know anything about cameras. I don't know a ton about them, but we know, you know, that red camera is crispy. So he brought out the red camera and the drone, 1080 on camera on the drone. So that's my recommendation. Make sure the guy that you're doing knows how to like paint with the camera. Make sure, you know, he's not stiff with it or real dull, and make sure the lens is crispy, and give a good performance as if you're performing live on stage. The rest is on you. The rest, if you give a good performance and like people forget there's no plot, they just want to see a good performance, good music. I mean, with record got to be good. You could have Robert De Niro in the video. The record's trash. I mean,
yeah, you can't have a trash record and then have it, as you would say, a crispy video,
right?
Because no one's gonna like it,
right?
But yeah, let's who's your favorite, like your inspiration for music? What artist made you want to pick up a pen?
Man, that's a tough one for sure.
There's probably a few of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. My introduction, my favorite musician. I got a favorite artist like in every genre. Rap, we stick straight to rap. Like I said, my introduction was like Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, Prince, you name it, Patsy Cline. A
Patsy
lot.
Cline. Wow.
Yeah. Listen to a lot of Patsy. Like I listen to a lot of like just like old soul music, so they inspire me to write. Like the penmanship, like Marty Robbins. You ever heard of a country singer named Marty Robbins? Dude would tell like gunslinger ballads. It's like that old real country western. He would tell like gunslinging ballads with like a middle, beginning, and end. That shit inspired me to write. That shit would inspire me to write.
Yeah, my
But
grandfather used to listen to him a lot.
cool. Your grandfather knows what's up. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that a lot of those artists inspire me to write. But of course, when I walked outside, the cadence, the beat, the flavor, the canvas that we were given was hip hop. You know what I mean? In that day and age, had I been born in another decade, I might be in another genre of music. But where I walked outside, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop was the canvas that we had. So in that realm, I would say Pac, man. Pac inspired me a lot to write, to say what was on my mind. Like Pac would still be relevant in today because he was one of those artists that was really vulnerable and really emotional and like spoke on everything,
Right.
And so I'd say Pac was a big influence in the rap era. I wanted to use like a high level vocabulary like Pac. I wanted to put a lot of passion into Pac. I wanted to make records for everybody, like all walks of life. He was kind of like a blueprint, if you will, and then also cautionary tale of things not to do, things to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was Pac, and I'm a big Nas fan. You know what I mean? Tell you the truth, I'm a really big Nas fan. Yeah, his
like Illmatic and
perseverance.
Stillmatic. Yep, those are very good albums.
I got the vinyl. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the vinyl right there. Yeah, I'm a big Nas fan, big J fan. All the goats. Like my list just sounds like a list of goats and like easy to go to, like Jada Kiss. But when we were coming up, they weren't like goats or legend. And they were just rosters of like they were just on the roster of hundreds of rappers at that time. You know what I mean? Just so happens. But they've always been my guys. I just picked the guys that ended up being still around today, but less notable ones, like if you're not in the know, depending who's tapping in, how old or young they are, but like Raekwon, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. Like Raekwon's my favorite out of Wu-Tang. Nice. Who else, man? Today, I like J. Cole. I'm a big J. Cole fan.
J. Cole?
You know what I'm saying?
J. Cole can hoop. I just want to say that. J. Cole can hoop too.
He
got respect from me when I was like, ooh, look at that. It's a celebrity game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but yeah, not just to give a random list of artists, but just to keep it narrowed down, like honed in. I'd say Pac was like, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna try this rap shit. I want to rap like that. I mean, I want to make an impact like that. And then 50, like I said earlier, 50 was like, because he wasn't the best. He was not the best rapper. You know what I'm saying? It was like how he said it. It was like the fact that he wasn't the best and still made you feel something. And you're like, man, I don't really got to be the best either. I just got to be like honest and just present it in such a way that connects, So he was a big motivation by not being like the illest. I was like, oh shit, maybe I can't do this.
Right. Yeah. Tupac was like, he was the storyteller, and I love storytellers. Like when it comes to comedy, music, anything, I love anybody that can tell a story. And like throughout all of Pac's, like all of his music, there was always like Dear Mama. There was a story of his mom and how he grew up. And even from How Do You Want It? Even that was a little contact story to it. And his little beef with Biggie, that was probably the downfall of Tupac and Biggie, because they were never gonna bounce back after that. I don't think.
Yeah.
After that big collision.
Yeah. To your point on How Do You Want It? That's a very multi-layered song. Like that song's like an onion, man. Like it's a party record on the surface, but then he's like taking shots at politicians. He's talking about like injustices. He's jumping back to like talking shit to rappers, and then like you're dancing the whole time, but like it's a party record. He's like going at C. Dolores Tucker, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's what was a big inspiration. Like I wanted to cover as much ground like he did, and it's tough. It's hard, Like man, how did he provide so much content? Like when
you listen to that song, you just think this is like Pocket hitting up on a woman. And it's just a club bumping song. That's all it is. But no, if you actually listen to it, it's pretty much all over the place. He's going all over the place with it.
Yeah.
That's like it. Yeah, kind of his music genius that really inspired me. When I was younger, I wasn't allowed to listen to rap. I was allowed to listen to strictly country music. That's why I hate country music today. I will not put it on the station. I won't listen to it. But it was like I was 13 years old and I bought my first hip hop album. And I forget which one was it. It was Master P's Ghetto Dope.
Oh
Ghetto
yeah.
D.
That cover was sick. Top 5
Yeah.
covers that like changed the game. Like if it's not your favorite cover or not, those covers changed the game.
Yep. Yeah, you bought the CDs just for the covers, just so you could have the collection of the covers.
Yeah.
Like Cain and Abel, that CD was terrible. Still bought it.
That CD was terrible, and they're probably like the worst on the roster, on the Cash Money roster. I worked with the dude, like one of my first jobs. Side note, totally unimportant. One of my first jobs, I was doing landscaping. I worked with the dude that was locked up with Cain or
Oh,
Abel. I'd be
really?
lying if I told you. Yeah, I'm just gonna flip the coin. He was locked up with one of them. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
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 that's nuts.
yeah. But
I didn't
Cain
even
and
know they
Abel.
were locked up.
Me neither. Me neither. This was a long time ago. This was like I was like young, so I hope they're in the
Right.
free now. This is sidebar.
I
But
hope,
yeah,
yeah, they probably are.
not too many people know about Cain and Abel. But that was
Right.
the Master P. That was your first rap CD. You had one of them moms too,
Right.
huh? Yeah, my mom would always she'd be confiscating parental advisory CDs like they were
Mhm.
drugs. Like
Yep. The
yeah,
first track when he was teaching everyone how to make crack. It's like the title track was "Make Crack Like This," so it was. And my grandmother caught me listening to it when I got home from school one day because she wasn't home, but she snuck in without me listening because the music was loud. And then she's just like outside my bedroom door, bursts open, scares the living shit out of me because I'm a hardcore rapper at that point, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm sitting there just rapping this song, and she bursts open the door. Give me that goddamn CD! Just snaps it right in front of me. So, yeah.
You're like in mid motherfucker, like rapping,
Yeah.
and then she walks in, you just have a mild heart attack. Yeah, slaps you upside. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
the
Yeah.
part.
The stereo was confiscated.
Yeah, nah, we've
Cover
all
track.
been there, man. You're not alone in that. I mean, actually, nah, I know a lot of my friends, their parents were. I guess it depends how old or young their parents were. A lot of my friends, they were put on the rap by their parents. I was like, man, not me. My
Right.
parents is. But as I grew older and they saw like I would always defend it. I would always defend it like a lawyer,
Uh-huh.
and how hip hop is art, speech is all the time. And my mom finally started kind of like, especially when I started doing it myself and taking
Right.
it seriously as an artist, uh, started growing an appreciation for it and easing up on it. But I was from a traditional Hispanic household, so
Right.
they wasn't having none of that shit. Like,
Right. No, that was it's a pure white 1950s household. That's what I was raised in.
yeah.
Like so yeah. I got I got my ass beaten. I wasn't allowed to do anything. Like I wasn't allowed to wear shorts to school until I was like in 7th grade. Because
Ah,
because my grandpa grew up during the depression. So during the depression, poor kids wore shorts to school and rich kids didn't, which baffled me because I had no idea we were rich. We weren't. He's just like, here, wear pants. You're not allowed to wear shorts. So yeah, if like until I was like 13 years old, I wasn't allowed to wear shorts to school.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Sorry
it
to hear that.
sucked. I would sneak them though in my backpack and then change it at school. But
Yeah, man.
it's sad I had to do that. But yeah, I grew up with like listening to like Ray Charles and like Jimi Hendrix. You know, my grandfather had a vinyl of Jimi Hendrix still in the casing. It wasn't open. I guess it was like valuable. But after I found it, it was no longer valuable because we had a
Sick.
record player. We had a vinyl and a record player, and then at that time I wanted to be a DJ too. So I would scratch the shit out of this Jimi Hendrix vinyl record. Just it sounded like crap, but I was a DJ, and it was grandpa
Oh
found it.
man.
Woo, I never got an ass whooping so bad. Woo,
You had that one coming though. You had that one coming.
scratched
Yeah,
the shit out of it. Yo,
I
yeah,
understand, Grandpa.
yeah. Do you have any like childhood embarrassing like stories that got you in trouble just because of music, or no? Or am I
Oh
the only
yeah,
one?
man. Nah, man. Oh man. I don't. I hope it comes. My girl thought it was funny when I told her, but I remember I went to a used CD store, record store. It was called Disco Round with my mom, and I wanted to buy the self-titled Sublime CD more than anything. And
Sublime.
yeah, and I took her down to after school, took her down to the record store to ask if I could get it. And it was back where they still had those little listening booths where you could sample, the CD before you bought it.
Yep.
So she was like, well, let's see, let me see what it's about first before we ring it up. So she's there like listening to it, I guess pretty high on volume. She got headphones like these on, the Bose headphones. She's drowned out. You know what I mean? Everything's drowned out. So she's jamming it. And so she's jamming Sublime, and she hears the content, and she's just yelling in the store, because she don't know she's yelling. She's just talking loud, in the packed record store. She's like, "Oh no, we're not taking this. He's saying bitches and titties and talking about smoking marijuana." And she was just saying it loud, and everyone was just looking, and I was embarrassed. Man, let's go, man. I just walked out the record store. Like, let's go, leave the CD. Let's go, man. Yeah.
I miss those stand-up booths, dude.
Yeah, those stand-up booths were the truth. Those
were the whole reason why to go to the mall after school. That's why we went to the mall, to listen to music, and
especially if you were broke and you couldn't buy nothing. Like that was something to do. Like, let's go listen to CDs. Like, let's go sample, until you tell you to stop loitering until you get the fuck on. Just like, yeah, let's go read some rap magazines and listen to sample the CDs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sam Goody and Camelot music.
Yep. I remember Sam Goody and FYE would have a lot of signings. Met a lot of cool people at FYEs. That was a good thing about CD stores, was like CD sign-ins. Like, I met DJ Drama, Young Jeezy at a sign-in, Yin Yang Twins at a sign-in. Yeah, it's very few of those,
Yeah, you don't see those anymore. You are right about that. Now that CD stores and music stores kind of gone bye-bye, so has the CD signings. Yeah. Well, what are they going to sign though? Like, here's my USB. Here's my USB with your album on it. Will you sign that? Music's kind of, I don't know. I miss the physical, like the same thing with video games. The physicality of actually having the game in your hand. I miss that, because you don't get that no more.
Yep. I try not to spend too much time dwelling on like how much I miss that, but because you got to evolve, you got to adapt. But yeah, I only miss it from a business standpoint, really, because the flip, the profit margin was nice. You know what I mean? You burn a pack of CDs, print out some covers, total cost for 50 CDs, maybe like, saying $100. You selling for $10 a piece, man. Like that's a hustle. Like that's what we would do. And now you can't do that. Every stream is like 0.003 of a cent. It's great. The profit margin is gone. So I miss that. But definitely from an artistic standpoint, I miss the artwork in it, the touching it or ripping it open, getting in the car, just can't bite that plastic off fast enough. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But nostalgia just gets you sad, if anything. So I try, there's a lot of benefits to having, like, I love having 2,000 songs at the touch of a thumb, and just being able to hit shuffle and just any song
just
that I want.
Out,
just drown out and pay $9.99 a month. Apple Music's the shit. But
Apple Music,
as a seller, on this side, the stock is down. You know what I mean? The stock is down. You can't pop trunk anymore. You can't. But you got to have your merch game. You got to have your merch game on point. You got to have your shirts, your beanies, your online store. You know what I mean? You got to find other ways. You got to find a way. But it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. The physicality. Just looking back on stuff, because I'm old, I do that now. But yeah, looking back on stuff, it's just, it brings a tear to your eye how much it's gone away. But it's also pretty cool on how much we're advanced by now. You would think that we'd have like hoverboards by now. Back to the Future lied to us.
Shit, damn near. You got people like skating around on like them single wheel. They got that wheel in the middle. I saw a dude skating on one, pushing his baby down the street today. He was flying. I was like, man,
damn.
Yeah.
They tell me it's just like snowboarding. I used to snowboard when I was like early, like late to early 20s.
Oh, that's
I used to snowboard then, but they're like, yeah, it's just like snowboarding. I'm like, I don't know. Is it? I never tried it. I'm gonna fall on my ass if I do it though.
I've always wanted to do snowboarding. I mean, I did all the PlayStation and snowboarding extreme games. Always wanted to do it in real life. Never.
Oh yeah, like SFX.
Yeah.
SFX tricky. Yep. And
it's Cool Borders. That's right. Cool Borders. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Hit them.
Yeah, we have snow like 8 months out of the year, so we tend to enjoy it as much
That's
as
too
possible.
much, man. That's too much.
It's cold up here, man.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like we're already in hoodie weather. That's
Yeah.
that's how fucked up it is. We're in hoodie and sweats weather already.
Nah, we're on polar opposite, and I got tropical. I'm a summer baby.
Summer baby.
You gonna watch the fight tonight? You gonna watch the Canelo Triple G fight?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, I think I might DVR it and watch it. Did you end up watching that UFC? That Nate Diaz and
Of course.
yeah.
Of course.
What's his face? Tony Ferguson. Why couldn't I think of that?
Yeah. Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson.
What was your opinion on that whole card mix up at the very end? Were you disappointed, or was it a better? Do you think it was a better matchup?
Yeah, I think it was a better matchup. Shit happens. Yeah, I mean, I think shit happens. Shit happened. They did what they had to do, and as I like to call it, the MMA gods made that happen. Because I was fucked up. I thought I was fucked up what they were doing to Nate, making a fight. Chimaev.
Yeah, I love Nate Diaz. I'm a Nate Diaz fan, like through and through. He's my favorite MMA fighter, will be of all time. But he was gonna get killed if he went against Chimaev.
I don't know about that. No, sorry. That's a whole yeah. No, it would have been too hard, man. Like, let's say he would have won, it would have been one of them fights like you don't really come out the same after,
Where he beat the hell, yeah.
Yeah, where you like beat the hell. There was a good chance he could have pulled off a sub in like the 4th or 5th, but there was also a good chance that he was just gonna lose. It's the ass kicking and killed part that I gotta pull the brakes. I'm like, I don't know if he got killed or his ass kicked, but I think he would have got wrestled down and lost and gone off on the loss, and his stock would have gone down, and that's just sad. Like, you don't want him to go out on the loss, and it's fucked up because I think that's what they wanted to happen. I think they wanted him to go out on the loss. So, man,
glad he did it.
I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad they know he has trouble with wrestlers. They know Chimaev is like
full-blown wrestler.
A full-blown wrestler that belongs in middleweight. Nate is a perennial lightweight. He belongs in lightweight. You know what I mean? He tries out welterweight every now and then. Chimaev obviously missing weight, but it doesn't even belong down there. So they both don't belong in that weight class because they both belong in the opposite end one. So that's the guy, like he's already. So of course he's gonna have problems with them. He's not his weight class. He's technically possibly 2 weight classes up, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah, that's why people was like, they were pretty much taking it as Chimaev being disrespectful because he was 7 pounds overweight, and I was like, no, this guy had to drop almost 40 pounds just to make weight for this fight.
I don't care what nobody says too. It's like a schoolyard bully. Like you'd be surprised what you do if you just take the fight with them, because when people expect to roll over somebody and then somebody's like, well, fuck it, like let's run it, they start thinking like, damn, like what if I lose? Like what if I lose? What if? So I think Chimaev thought about the what ifs, like, because he's supposed to steamroll him. He's supposed to, but what if it even looks competitive? You know what I mean? Like what if he still wins, but he wins by decision? He doesn't stand after talking all that shit. You know what I mean? And like and Nate has one of those moments, like the Leon Edward moments where he stunned him with that left. Like, what if he has one of those moments that just changes the narrative, and he's no longer the killer or the hitman that they were trying to make, because he had a competitive fight with someone on the way out. So how can he be he started thinking about all these things. So I think he's the one that kind of caught bitch at the end. He's like, oh, I didn't make weight. Like, yeah,
it was, he like steamrolled Holloway though, or what? Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland. He like steamrolled him.
Yeah, as he should have, And then you got Daniel Cormier talking like Kevin Holland. That's what they do. They try to paint narratives. You know what I mean? So they're like he did something by steamrolling Holland. Like, that's what he should have done. Like, on Holland paper, it's crazy because Holland on paper is better than Diaz. I'm like, no, he's just younger. He's younger, but like Holland is he's a stepping stone right now, like he's supposed to be. So they were like, yeah. So imagine what would have happened to Diaz if he beat Holland. We're like, who the fuck's Holland? Like,
this guy.
Yeah. So I wouldn't buy none of that. So it worked out better for everybody in this case, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was still a good
except
card.
Ferguson. It's for Ferguson, man. He's off like 4 losses, 5 losses.
5 losses in a row. How is he still employed? Isn't it the rule of the UFC, once you lose 3 fights, you have to take a break? and go somewhere else for a little while.
Yeah, they change every day. You know how I go. Yeah.
Ferguson's a money draw, though. Anybody's gonna watch him just because he's fun to watch.
They paid his dues.
Yeah, Nate Diaz is the same. He wasn't like a Brock Lesnar or like an All Star, like an Adesanya. Anyway, he's not even him. He's just a guy that's entertaining. He likes to talk shit, and he might even knock you out.
Yeah, since like the FX days, like when you could watch UFC on a random Thursday or Tuesday on FX, he's just always been like good TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's always been good TV.
Good fight. I always liked him.
Yeah, good content, good sound bites. Before there was even sound bites, you know what I mean? It's like,
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
My favorite. Yeah, hands down, my favorite. Him and his brother. Yeah.
Awesome. But before we get out of here real quick, who do you got? Who do you have tonight?
Tonight, man. Tonight I got Triple G. It's the only time I go against Canelo is when he fights Triple G. I'm a big Triple G fan. Yeah, and I get a lot of shit for it because, like, I don't know, man. If you hang around Mexicans, we're always expected to go for like the other Mexican fighters, like,
right,
like you know them personally. So my bad.
Like,
you know
is your cousin or something?
Yeah. Like he's my cousin or something. We get all these comments.
Right, so, exactly.
Yeah, but Triple G's my guy, man. Triple G, I think he might retire after this one. If he loses, I think even if he wins, he still might retire. So I want to see him. Yeah. I think if Canelo takes the L, he still got a long career ahead of him, and he got a win on the last one. So you know what I mean. It's all good. So fair play to both of them. I just want to see a good fight. But yeah, I'm rooting for Triple G. Only time.
Do you watch any of the Jake Paul fights?
I did. I saw like the first two. I saw the Tyrone Woodley one.
Yeah, where he knocked him out. Before?
Yeah, and the Mayweather one. Those are both scripted, man. Those are both scripted. Oh no, his brother fought Mayweather, right? Or
yeah, Logan Paul fought.
Paul fought Mayweather, right? Yeah. No, I saw a couple of ones.
Carried.
Yeah.
Carried by Mayweather for 7 rounds, pretty much.
The Tyrone Woodley one looked super scripted on the cool, but supposedly this one he's gonna do with Anderson Silva is the real deal. So like we'll see.
Yeah, when you said the Tyrone Woodley one was scripted, you could tell because he twisted his hand. He turned his hand.
Yeah, to not put the 2 knuckles in his jaw, just to kind of like slap him with the flat. Oh, yeah.
Yep. I don't like it either. I guess Nate Diaz is going to try and fight Jake Paul. I hope not. Well, who knows? I don't know.
That's what he said. So I'm like, is that going to be real? I mean, it's got to be real. He's not going to do no fugazi shit. Like, it's Nate Diaz, so it's got to be real. Right. Like, yeah. So
I would have to be. I would lose all faith if I knew that Nate Diaz threw a fight just for a paycheck. I would lose all faith.
Or even one, or even his opponent threw one. I don't even want his opponent throwing one. I want to see what really is going to happen if they scrap. Like, I don't want any predetermined outcome. Like,
right. Exactly.
On either end, yeah.
Exactly. Shit. But, all right, AB, I want to thank you for coming on, buddy. Before I let you introduce the music video we're about to play, go ahead and give some shout outs. Tell these people where to find you one more time. You know the drill.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the whole TMP camp. Shout out to my city, Corpus Christi. Shout out to the whole state of Texas. Shout out to your fellow podcaster, Jerry on Blaze, man. Jerry on Blaze. And what's up? Let's see. Oh, my new shit. If you ain't heard the Perseverance EP, go stream the Perseverance EP on all digital platforms. And there's where you can find our latest single, Just for the Weekend. We're about to get into the video, Just for the Weekend, off the Perseverance EP. The follow-up to So Far, our previous single that's still doing numbers. So check the So Far video. If you want to know where to find all of this stuff, you don't want to be searching left and right, just go to abdvinci.com, abdvinci.com. That's the hub. Mm-hmm. You find everything, all the links, all the show dates. Pick your poison. It's all there at abdvinci.com.
That's right, everyone. If you want to follow and listen to AB's music, just go to links, and all the links are in the description below. So just get to clicking and enjoy.
That's right.
But all right, everyone, I want to thank you guys for watching, for clicking that play button as always. And if you're out there searching the web, go ahead and hit up thedlshowmerch.com and use the promo code TheDLShow, and you will get 20% off of your order. We got some new teas coming in too, so be on the lookout for that. And also that little thing you see in the corner of the screen up there. Oh, here. There you go. All you got to do is scan that with your phone, the little QR code, and scan that with your phone, and you'll take you right to Dan's Cannabis Couch on Facebook, on the Facebook groups. So that being said, oh wait, I guess I have one more person. Sorry. But next week, stay on the lookout next week. We had some technical difficulties the first time, but now he's back. I got him to come back. We have comedian Gastor Amante coming on. He's going to come chop it up with me for a little bit, tell some jokes. Maybe it'll be a pretty funny episode. So go ahead and tune into that. And now, without further ado, AB Dvinci, what are we watching?
Just for the Weekend, featuring my brother Droopy M and that boy T-Rest, directed by Izzy Salinas. Enjoy the video.
That's right, everyone. And thank you. Love you all. Stay up. Peace.
Take Money Productions.
Yeah. That's right. Take Money. Dvinci. T-Rest. Droopy M. Let's go. Hey.
Just for the weekend. You wanna be friends. Let's dive off the deep end. I do it better than he can. It's just for the weekend. You wanna be friends. Let's dive off the deep end. I do it better than he can.
Just give me 2.5 days and then we can part ways. And you can go back to your dinner and matinee. Breaking up a home, now I never been that guy. But when I see y'all, I can't help but ask why. Know I had a shot that I missed, you know me. Fell for these streets in this Gulf Coast breeze. Said I write for myself and I changed since then. Paid the cost, now I got a little time to spend. And you still got that frame that I like to bend. So from now to the Sabbath, escape the average. Paint the town, hit the cush, then we hitting the mattress. Me and you got roots deep under the cabbage. You the only one that know the man under the carrots. If the weekend's all we got before we say farewell, let me give you weak knees and a story to tell. Yeah, come on.
It's just for the weekend. You wanna be friends. Let's dive off the deep end. I do it better than he can. It's just for the weekend. You wanna be friends. Let's dive off the deep end. I do it better than he can. Yeah.
Rest when you look upon me. Here's whatever mine depends on the dirt department. Hit the shit to test the chocolate up in my streets. Got you leaking like a faucet when we in the sheets. Since I can blink, I've always been the type to down for mine. Like the concrete here, been the same all this time. It's in your mind, I can see you want your sparky interest. I'm always down for fun, but at the end, it's strictly business. Your baby daddy calls us distant, cause you rock on me. See his weakness, I can take the fake and they the bean. But you ain't triple C, you know you got a mirror here. Just hold me down right now, but I control this from the rear. And the crew and hand the steel, but let me drive this for you. Ain't no secret here, know what you want is moving towards you. Got some patience, mind, so you gain one in the pen. Words my body here, and what you hear is not routine.
For the weekend, you wanna be friends.